This is Note Taking Guide 12.1 for Math 2. Today we're going to start a chapter on matrices, which are just another way to write out like equations in a different way. So just like we can multiply an equation through by a number, or we could add equations or polynomials together, we're going to be doing the same thing with matrices. So the first thing that we're going to do here is called scalar multiplication. This number out in front right here would be our scalar. What we're going to do is we're just going to multiply that 5 through to everything in the matrice. And when we do that, we're just going to get a new 2 by 2 matrice, the same size as it was before, just new numbers in every position. So 5 times negative 2 is a negative 10. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 8 is 40. And 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. So again, really all we did was distribute that 5 through the entire matrix. This next one, again, we're going to take that negative 7 through to every part of the matrix here. It's got to be multiplied to every part. This again is called scalar multiplication. Because I have a 2 by 2 matrix, I have 2 rows and 2 columns. Because it's a 2 by 2 matrix, I'm going to end up with a 2 by 2 matrix. So I know to draw a matrix that I can fit that many answers in, and then I just multiply. Negative 7 times 0 is 0. Negative 7 times 1/3 is a negative 7/3. Negative 7 times 6 is a negative 42. And negative 7 times negative 4 is a positive 28 for my new matrix. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to add the matrices. In order to add the matrices, they must have the same dimension. So like I said before, this has 2 rows and 2 columns. This one has 2 rows and 2 columns. Because it has the same dimensions, I can add them together. What I do is I add the numbers in similar positions. So this is the upper left-hand corner. This is the upper left-hand corner. I add them together to get the upper left-hand corner of my answer. So what we're going to do is we're going to add or subtract the matrices, because subtraction works in the exact same way that we've been given here. So our first one. This is a 2 by 2 matrix right here. This is a 2 by 2 matrix. Because they're both 2 by 2 matrices, I can add them together position by position. So upper left hand corner plus upper left hand corner, 1 plus 3 is 4. And then this position and this position, so negative 5 plus 2 is a negative 3. Then we're here with the 4 and the negative 2. Those add together to be 2. And 2 plus 1 is 3. So there's the answer for my new matrix. Okay, subtraction works exactly the same way. Because this is a 3 by 3 matrix, and this is a 3 by 3 matrix, I can add them. I know that my answer is going to be a 3 by 3 matrix, and I add or subtract position by position. So 1 minus 9 would be a negative 8. 2 minus 8 is negative 6. And 3 minus 7 is negative 4. And I just keep going with these numbers. 4 minus 6, negative 2. 5 minus 5 is 0. 6 minus 4 is 2. 7 minus 3 is 4. 8 minus 2 is 6. And 9 minus 1 is 8. So my new 3 by 3 matrix is this solution over here, and I'm done with that subtraction problem. Alright, so here this time we're going to use matrix A and B to answer the questions. This one says to do A subtract B. So if I were going to do that, I know A is a 3 by 3 matrix, I know B is a 3 by 3 matrix, and I'm going to subtract them. So position by position, I would start up here with the negative 5 and the 2 to get a negative 3. Then I would have 1 minus 4 to get a negative 3. Negative 3 minus 5 to get a negative 8, and then I go to the next row. 6 minus negative 8 would be 14. 0 minus 10 would be a negative 10. And 2 minus 3 would be negative 1. Then I have one more row to go. 2 minus a negative 2 would be 4. 6 minus a negative 3 would be 9. And 1 minus a negative 9 would be 10. So subtracting them, I got that. The next set says to add them together. I know I'm going to get a 3 by 3 matrix again. I'm doing B plus A. So I would really just be adding same positions together in those matrices. It doesn't matter on addition if you do B plus A or A plus B, you're going to get the same thing. So just starting up in the top row, we're going to go negative 5 plus 2, which is a negative 3. 1 plus 4, which is 5. Negative 3 plus 5, which is 2. And then go to the second row. 6 plus negative 8 is negative 2. 0 plus 10 is 10. And 2 plus 3 is 5. And then the last row of addition. 2 plus negative 2 is 0. 6 plus negative 3 is 3. And 1 plus negative 9 is a negative 8. The next problem here on number 3 says to do negative 2 times b. So I'm really going to take that whole matrix and multiply it by negative 2. I'm still going to get a 3 by 3 matrix, but everything's going to be multiplied by negative 2. So negative 2 times negative 2 on the, or negative 2 times positive 2 on the top row is going to be a negative 4. Negative 2 times 4 is a negative 8. And negative 2 times 5 is a negative 10. Go to the next row. Negative 2 times negative 8 is a positive 16. Negative 2 times 10 is a negative 20. And negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6. Then I do my last row. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a 4. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. And negative 2 times negative 9 is a positive 18. This last problem right here is subtraction. We're going to do B minus A this time. My answer is still going to be a 3 by 3 matrix. Order does matter though on subtraction. So this time I have to go this direction first and then subtract this one. But it's still position by position. So I'm going to go through and kind of just do a couple of them slow for you. And then we'll go from there. So it will be 2 minus negative 5. Which would be 2 plus 5, so 7. And then 4 minus 1, which is 3. And 5 minus a negative 3, which would be 8. Go to the next row, starting again with B. So negative 8 minus 6 would be a negative 14. 10 minus 0 is 10. 3 minus 2 is 1. And then finish that last row again, starting with the B's. So negative 2 minus 2 is 0. Negative 3 minus 6 is a negative 9, and negative 9 minus 1 is a negative 10. All right, sometimes you're going to be missing the middle matrix there, so we're going to see what matrix we would have to have added to this first one in order to get the second one. Knowing that this is a 2 by 3, I know that I had to have added a 2 by 3 to get a 2 by 3 for my answer. So what did I add to 6 to get to 9? That would be a 3. What did I add to 2 to get to 3? That would be 1. What did I add to 1 to get to 2? That would be another 1. And then go to your next row. 1 plus something gave me 2, so that's 1. 4 plus something gave me 11. That would be 7. And 3 plus something gave me 4. That's another 1. So it's easy to find what matrix A would be equal to just by doing the addition. This asks me to state the dimension of this matrix. Again, we do rows first. So this is a 2 by, and then do your columns 3. So you always do rows first and then columns. Rows go left and right, columns go up and down. This says to add the matrices. This is nothing different than what we've been doing. We're still adding the matrices, but this time we have some variables. So this is a 2 by 2 plus a 2 by 2. So my answer has to be a 2 by 2. X plus 12 would be that. It would be 12 plus X or X plus 12. You can't combine those together. 5 plus negative 3 would be 2. 7y minus 2y, because those are like terms with the same variables, I can combine those together to be 5y. And 3z plus 5 would be exactly that. 3z plus 5, they're not like terms. You cannot combine them together. So it works all the same rules that we've done all year long, but we're just putting our answers in matrices. All right, this says to add. Now here's a problem. This is a 2 by 3. And this is a 2 by 1. Because they're not the same dimensions, I cannot add them together because the dimensions don't match up. So this would be not possible to do. So I could use the empty set or no solution symbol. Last problem right here says simplify to one matrix. Just like in regular math, we're going to do order of operations first. It says to multiply before add. So I'm going to multiply that first matrix through by 9. And when I do that, I'm going to get 9 times 3, which is 27. 9 times 4, which is 36. And 9 times negative 2, which is negative 18. Then I can add that with the other matrice that's left. And I'm still going to get a 3 by 1 matrix. I'm going to have 27 plus a negative 3, which is 24. 36 plus 4, which is 40. And negative 18 plus a negative 10, which is a negative 28. Good luck on your homework.